This is class 9, subject science, chapter 5, the fundamental unit of life, lecture number 1. Now in this chapter we will be covering the several topics which are listed below. Topics to be covered are introduction of cell discovery, cell theory, cell shape and size, cell membrane and cell wall, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell organelles and their function, diffusion and osmosis, types of solutions, cell placed in different types of solutions, difference between plant cell and animal cell. So these are the topics which we will be discussing in this chapter. So let's start with the first topic, introduction of cell. It means how the cell was introduced. The body of all organisms, let it be microscopic or macroscopic, it is made up of tiny units called as cells. So whether the body is microscopic or macroscopic, it is made up of tiny units, and these tiny units are called as cells. Now the question arises, how is the body organized? Each part of the body has a specific job to do. Each part of the body, it has a specific function, it has a specific job to do. So how the level of organization is there in the human body means how is the body organized in us. You can see from here also cells, which are called the tiny units, they form tissues they form organs they form organ systems, and organ system they form an organism. So in this way the body is organized. You can also see here from the chart, organization of life means how the life is organized. Cell, the smallest unit that carries out various life activities. When the group of cells they work together, they have to perform a specific job, they form a tissue. Now tissue, group of tissues they work together to form specific job, they form organ, and group of organs they work together to perform specific job, that forms organ system, and that organ system it finally forms an organism. So organism can be made of one cell or many organ systems. So in this way the life is organized. In this way the body is organized. Cells to tissues, tissues to organ, organ to organ system, and organ system to an organism. Now we can say that cell is the structural and functional unit of every living organism capable of independent existence. On what basis we can say this? Because all the living forms, they are made up of one or more cells, and it can exist independently and can perform all the life functions. That's why this statement we can say. Now the next topic is discovery of cell, means how the cell was discovered. Cell was discovered by a scientist named as Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke was the scientist who discovered the cell in year 1665. He discovered the cell. Now how he discovered cell? He discovered cell while examining a thin slice of cork under a microscope. He was observing a thin slice of cork under a microscope. Now when he observed that slice of cork under a microscope, he noticed honeycomb-like structures. What type of structures? Honeycomb-like structures. And he called these compartments as cells. You can also see from the diagram here, this is bark of the tree. From the bark of the tree, cork comes. So when he observed this thin slice of cork under a microscope, he observed these honeycomb-like structures, these compartments. So he called these compartments as cells. In this way, Robert Hooke discovered cells. There are few more discoveries related to the cell, like Robert Brown. Robert Brown was also another scientist. He discovered nucleus in the cell. What is nucleus? You might have studied in the previous classes also. Nucleus is the centrally located spherical body. So Robert Brown discovered nucleus in 1831. Another scientist, Purkinje. He coined the term protoplasm. What is protoplasm? It is the fluid which is present inside the cell. So Purkinje, he coined this term in year 1839. Now when Robert Brown, he was examining the thin slice of cork under a microscope. So the invention of the microscope, it helped in the discovery of cell. With that microscope only he was able to discover cell. Now the first simple microscope, it was developed by a scientist named as Anton van Leeuwenhoek in year 1674. So he was a scientist who discovered the first simple microscope in year 1674. So these are the various discoveries related to the cell. Now microscope. What is microscope? Microscope is an instrument that is used to magnify the things, in order to zoom the things, we can say, which cannot be seen with the naked eyes. We use microscope. So you can see this is an eyepiece, this is an arm, this is a rack stop, stage clip. Stage clip is used to hold the slide. Coarse focus, fine focus, revolving nose piece, objective lens, stage. Stage is that place, that area, that region where we put a slide for examining. Condenser, illuminator and base. So these are the various parts of a microscope, the instrument that is used to magnify the things. Now next topic is cell theory. It is a theory which was given by two scientists, Sheldon and Schwann. Sheldon and Schwann were the two scientists who gave the cell theory in year 1838. And after the theory was given by these two scientists, it was further extended by another scientist named Virchow in 1855. So what does this cell theory states? Cell theory states that, number one, all the plants and animals are composed of cells. So whether it is a plant or an animal, it is made up of cell. And the cell, that cell is a basic unit of life. Third point, all the cells arise from pre-existing cells. What does the statement mean? It means that every organism starts life as a single cell. So this was a statement, all the cells arise from pre-existing cells, given by Virchow. So it is a very important statement in the cell theory. So this is all about cell theory. There are exceptions to cell theory, viruses and bacteria. Viruses and bacteria, these are exceptional to cell theory. Now the question arises, why? Why they are exceptional to this theory? Viruses cannot multiply outside the living system. Since they do not multiply outside the living system, it means they do not perform any life activities. So that's why they are exceptional to cell theory. And what about bacteria? Bacteria are not true cells. They are not true cells. That's why they are exceptional to cell theory. The next topic is cell shape, size and number. Cell shape. Cell shape means how the shape of the cell is there. Shape of the cell depends upon the function it performs. Some cells like amoeba, they have changing shapes. Amoeba, it is a organism which has irregular shape. So it has a changing shape, means the shape is not fixed. In case of WBC also, what is WBC? White blood corpuscles. The shape is not fixed. They have variable shape. In some cases, they have some fixed shape like spherical in case of the eggs of many animals. Spindle shape in case of muscle cells. Muscle cells basically focusing on smooth muscle cells. Elongated, it is observed in nerve cell. Kidney shaped observed in stomata. Discoid means oval shaped, it is observed in RBC, that is red blood corpuscles. Cuboidal, this shape is observed in germ cells. Now we will observe these shapes with the help of diagram. Spherical, you can see the shape is spherical, so it is actually the shape which is observed in the eggs of many animals. Next is cuboidal. See here the shape is cuboidal. It is the shape which is observed in the germ cells. Discoid means oval shaped. it is observed in RBC. So these are RBCs, red blood corpuscles. So the shape is discoid shape. Elongated, it is nerve cell. The shape is elongated. Kidney shape is observed in stomata. So these are kidney shape. You can see the shape is kidney like. So that's why the shape is kidney shape, which is observed in stomata. And spindle shaped, it is observed in muscle fibers. Which muscle fibers? Smooth muscle fibers. So these are the various types of the shapes of the cell. Now next topic is cell size. How the cell size of the cell varies. Size of the cell, it varies from person to person, from organism to organism. The smallest cell known is mycoplasm. It is the smallest cell known. And what is the other name of mycoplasm? It is PPLO. That is pleuropneumonia like organism. It is the very smallest, and you can see the diagram also. It is a very smallest cell. Largest cell known is ostrich egg. You can see through the diagram also, this is the largest cell discovered yet. In case of men, now I am talking about men. The smallest cell in men, it is RBC, that is red blood cells, red blood corpuscles. They are the smallest cells which are present in men. And the longest cell it is present in men, that is nerve cell, that is the longest cell. These type of things are not given in NCERT, so you can note down for examination point of view. For the competitive exams also it will help you in future. Now the next topic is cell number. On the basis of the number of cells, various types of the organisms are classified. So the classification of the organisms on the basis of the number of cells we will study now. Three types of the organisms are classified on the basis of number of cells. These organisms are non-cellular organisms, unicellular organisms, multicellular organisms. Now we will study each in detail. Non-cellular organism. Non means not even a single. Uni means single. Multi means many. So non-cellular organisms are the organisms which do not contain even a single cell. They do not have any cell in their body organization. Example, virus. Virus are the non-cellular organisms. They do not have even a single cell in their body. So these are non-cellular organisms. Now next is unicellular organisms. Uni means single cell is present in that organism. And since single cell is present, it means all the functions that are performed by that single cell. And the lifespan is short. Example of the unicellular organisms are amoeba, paramecium, chlamydomonas. So the last, what are multicellular organisms? Multi means many. Cellular means cell. So those organisms which contains many cells, which contain large number of cells, they are called as multicellular organisms. Now since large number of cells are present, so their cells will be different. So the different cells, they perform different functions. And as a result, the lifespan is long. So example, humans, trees, animals. These are the examples of multicellular organisms. So what is your homework for today? You will do question number 1, 2 given on page number 59 of chapter 5 NCERT, and you will also read the chapter up to page number 62, and you will learn the topics covered in this